welcome to the second episode of the 2-for-1 podcast. I am Jamin Williams.
I'm Jordany Vasquez.
And we are here once again. The first episode did pretty well, actually. I was a little surprised how well it actually did. It's been doing well. Hopefully, we can have similar results in the second episode as Jordany checks to see if his waves are still spinning. There you go. But how are you, Jordany? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Had a good day at work. Ready to talk some ball.
Have you been watching the playoffs?
Some games here and there. It's kind of tough because I'll be at work all day, but I've seen some games here and there. Shout out to the New York Knicks. New York's gonna burn down pretty soon.
Yeah. So I've been watching the playoffs. There's been some very interesting developments over the past few days or so. I mean, where do I start? The Suns got swept. I picked Minnesota to win. I think we can go back and watch the thing. I think I maybe picked Minnesota in 6 games. I knew Minnesota would win. I didn't think it would be a sweep though. I thought, but to be fair, I wasn't expecting Grayson Allen to get injured. And I know it's just Grayson Allen. He provides. He's a quality role player.
He's been really good for them all year.
He just got an extension. So
yeah, he provided a really great shoot for them.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like just somebody else scoring that isn't KD or Booker. So they could have used them.
Absolutely, yeah. There's that. They got swept. I'm interested to see what the Suns end up doing in the offseason with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, because we all know nobody on this planet or Mars is trading for that Bradley Beal contract. Horrible. And there's a no trade clause.
No trade clause anyway. Isn't it like the no trade clause? I think ruins it. It's not like anybody's gonna trade for him anyway with that horrible contract. But at the very least, if some bad team wanted some decent players, like no trade clause, like send them over there. But they didn't get that option.
So here's a question in terms of most tradable to least tradable. Let's do a start bench cut of horrible NBA contracts. First, we have the Jordan Poole contract. We have the Ben Simmons contract over there in Brooklyn. And we got Bradley Beal in Phoenix. If you had to do a start bench cut off of those teams, off of those players, and you're actually basing it off of like from kind of tradable to not tradable at all, how would you do it?
I'm starting Jordan Poole's easily. I think that's the best contract out of all these bad ones. At the very least, he actually plays in games, unlike Beal, and especially unlike Ben Simmons been able to do. So that's an easy start for me when it comes to Poole's contract. And I might have to say bench Beal's because even that no trade clause is a killer. But at the very least, once again, he plays a lot more than Ben Simmons. He's not as much as a diva. I don't. Beal hasn't really been problematic.
He seems like a pretty chill dude.
He's not been problematic when it comes to the locker room situation or how he handles these sort of situations. So just based off that, I'm a bench it. Even though the no trade clause is such a killer, it really is. But at the very least, he's on the floor more than Ben Simmons. He's not really on the floor like that, but more than Ben Simmons, and he's not gonna cause any sort of rifts in the locker room. And then we know how Ben Simmons be. I just saw a picture of him at the Met Gala. He was looking crazy. But so Ben Simmons got to go.
Okay, interesting. I have a different list. I am going to start. There's one factor into this that is interesting. I actually didn't even know until a couple days ago. Ben Simmons, this is his last year on contract. So he's an expired he's an expiring contract this upcoming season. So with that being the case, a team might consider trading for him just for the fact that they can have open cap space.
Is he going to be unrestricted or restricted?
Probably unrestricted, I would imagine. With that being the case, I'm still gonna start Poole. Reason why is because Poole's like 24, I want to say.
Yeah, he's still young. Yeah.
There's always the chance that he gets better. And I know he hasn't been playing very well recently, but there's always, I mean, look, he's done some great stuff in the league. He has.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always a chance that he can improve. You can't say the same for Beal and for Simmons because, I mean, those guys are older and they have a lot of injury issues. But I think Poole does have upside to him, and I can see a team taking the chance with that
Yeah.
potential upside in mind. And I'm getting him. So I'm gonna start Poole. I'm going to bench Ben Simmons just because I think there is a team out there that might want to just clear up cap space, and they would do a trade for him. And I'm going to cut Bradley Beal, which is something that I know the Phoenix Suns wish they could do, but they can't. Um,
That no
so
trade clause really is a killer. Like I said it plenty of times that it's really it really goes either way just because of the no trade clause. I feel like it would be pretty easy without that to just leave Simmons because it's like Beal plays
yeah,
more,
yeah,
but that no trade clause really just puts puts it in the crap like literally heavily,
yeah.
just bad.
So the Suns got some choices to make. Unfortunately, none of those choices are going to be made by us because we're not a part of that, and nor do we ever want to be.
Yeah.
Um, so now we get to talk about the positive aspect of that series, which includes the Minnesota Timberwolves, who defeated them in 4 games, moving on to face the Nuggets. So to be honest, we're completely filming this after the results of Game 1. Obviously, the Wolves ended up winning that one. Surprisingly, I thought the Nuggets were going to come out on top. Um, any predictions for that series? I personally, well, I'll let you go first.
It's gonna be probably the most entertaining series that we have, maybe in the whole playoffs, even more than the finals. I'm honestly really excited about this game. I missed out or this series. I missed out on the first game because I was not home, but I really want to see game two tonight. Uh,
That's
Anthony
tomorrow, I think.
Edwards. Yeah, it's tomorrow. Oh, okay. Anthony Edwards, though. I mean, he been a talk of the town, but we all this great reason. He's him. There's no other way to put it. He's him. He could definitely be he's gonna be the next face of the league if he keeps this up. He's 22 years old. He's 22 is crazy
He's a year older
at
than
this
me.
level. Yeah,
Maybe
two
2 years
years,
older.
2 years older than us.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I'm just looking at how this team is constructed and what everybody does. I really love how they constructed it. They overpaid for Gobert, but I knew that I was he was the piece that they needed. They needed him. Okay, because we know Cat is not going to be a paint presence as much as they would want. So to have Gobert roaming that paint, being that defensive anchor that he is, having Cat roam around wherever he needs to be, focusing on offense, and even then, Cat still has good height. He can block shots pretty well, I believe. For his career, he's blocked shots at a pretty decent clip. Mike Conley is a really good glue guy, really good vet. Jaden McDaniels, my boy. They have Kevin Durant. But we got Jaden
Hey,
McDaniels.
McDaniels,
Like,
yeah.
come on. He's like it's like he contributes not needing the ball in his hands, so they can keep the ball in Ant's hands, in Conley's hands, in Cat's hands. And we all know boy Nas Reed was 6 man of the year. He's gonna come off the bench. He's gonna give good production. He's gonna do exactly what he needs to do.
Nas
This is
Reed.
a greatly, greatly built team. Greatly built team. And we know what Denver is capable of, but they kind of been underwhelming these playoffs.
Yeah.
I looked at the I believe the plus minuses or I looked at the net ratings and they were like only at point 0.8 positive. So they've been very underwhelming this postseason. They're gonna have to turn it up big time because I really do believe that how they are playing right now, the Timberwolves can win.
Yeah.
But if they play to the level that we are accustomed to them playing, this is gonna be a 7 game series going down to the wire. Which
Um,
way it goes to me is a flip of a coin, really,
well,
honestly.
I want you to keep that in mind because it's very funny. As we were talking about this, just got a report. Wait, the game is tonight.
Yeah, I knew it was tonight.
What?
Yeah. They played on Saturday, bro.
I didn't even know the game was tonight. Wow. Well, I will be looking forward to that. So interesting. Just got announced. Rudy Gobert will be out for
Ooh,
tonight's game for the birth of his child. So congratulations to Gobert and whatnot. But
I wouldn't have missed that game. Sorry, wifey.
look, I mean, I
Let
get
me stop.
it,
Let me stop. Let
but
me stop.
look, he played Jokic pretty well.
Oh yeah.
In the last game, Jokic didn't look like MVP Jokic, even though his stats were still fine. But I mean, this is the playoffs. This is where they have to take it up a notch, each and every one of them. Now, with that being the case, with Gobert potentially, or he's most definitely going to miss game two. Does this change your prediction at all? I know it's just one game, but I mean, one game can mean a lot in the playoffs.
Yeah, it does. Shoot, that's tough because now that opens up Jokic. That's gonna open up the middle a lot more. So, them backdoor cuts with Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray running around there. I don't know. I still think that they can possibly win this game. TJ Warren is on the Wolves. That's bad right now. But anyway, I'm sorry. That's all TJ Warren thing. I'm like, what is going on? Why is he on this team? But anyway, the Nuggets can definitely win, and they're at home, so I think they can win this game. But Gobert is not injured, so he's gonna come back. It's still so close. I still think they can keep it really close.
So ultimately, if you had to choose Wolves or Nuggets, which way are you going?
Tough. Gun to my head. Sheesh, man. Oh man, you got that 40 on me. Oh God.
I'm John
Um.
Morant.
uh, oh man, it's hard. I'm gonna go Nuggets in 7. I still think that because Jokic didn't play that well. Murray played atrocious. Like this man, 6 for 14, 17 points is like okay, but it's like 6 for 14. Michael Porter Jr. played good. Aaron Gordon had 9 points. It's like this team was playing not bad, just straight up bad.
Yeah,
And I think that yesterday was a game that the Wolves it was like they're regular, like they like play like this all the time. So I very much feel like if they can bounce back, if Jokic can be Jokic, usual Jokic, because he still played well, but it wasn't usual Jokic.
yeah,
And then if Jamal Murray can play like Jamal Murray is supposed to, then they can win. It was only a 7 point deficit that they lost by,
yeah,
and that was a bad game. While Anthony Edwards put 43 points up and shot almost 60% from the field. So
yeah.
but it all depends on them. It all depends on the Nuggets.
I agree with everything you said. I think ultimately, I mean, look, these guys are the defending champs. You can never rule them out like officially. So ultimately, I think I think there's going to be point in time where the series is going to be tied, which means we're
Yeah.
going to like I'm a game seven. In which case, Denver at home, I gotta go with Denver. They're the
Yeah.
defending champs. They know how to get stuff done. This is like the exact opposite of the Celtics. I feel like the Celtics play with their food too much. If
Yeah,
it
that's true.
was the Nuggets playing against Miami, Miami would not have stolen a game. They wouldn't have
Mm-mm.
let Tyler Hero get 12 assists or whatever he had. So ultimately, I think the Nuggets are a very serious team and they know how to handle stuff. And I think they're going to get it done. But look, if the Nuggets ever have a lead in this series, they're going to close it out in the next game, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Maybe not
I
the
agree.
next game. If they're up like 3-1, then the Wolves are definitely going to win a game or two. But if they're going to play in Denver in game seven, because they got the 2 seed, right?
Who the Nuggets? Yeah,
No,
they
wait.
got home court.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
The
cool.
Nuggets have home court.
So yeah, I think that's what's going to end up happening. And That'll be very interesting. I'm looking forward to this series. It's gonna be very
It's gonna be
interesting.
really close though. It's gonna be really, really close.
There was another sweep in the West. The OKC Thunder, my team,
Mm-hmm.
swept the New Orleans Pelicans without Zion. I know.
Celebrate good
But,
times. Come on.
yeah. I'm very pleased with the results of that sweep. Jalen Williams, hey man, Josh Giddey was hitting them threes, man. And if if he can keep that up, I know he probably can't, but if he can keep that up, I'm very excited about this, this team. But ultimately, they swept the Pels. The Pels, I don't know what they're gonna do in free agency. I don't think they have to do much. I mean, they need a
No.
real point guard, right? They need a real point guard. And I think they also just need to play a series with both Ingram and Zion. You know, I mean Zion's been
Yeah.
injured each the time that they made, the playoffs. And he was
And I
injured in the last playing game. So
and I was very much thinking like the Pels were on my mind very much because I look at this team and I really love how they're built. I really do. They're missing a point guard. CJ McCollum shouldn't be playing point guard.
oh, you should not.
I love CJ, but he shouldn't be playing point guard. But this team is really constructed super well because if they can move CJ out of here, not they don't have to move CJ like completely out the squad, but if they can get someone who's a point guard, because CJ is just he's a scorer. At the end of the day, he's a scorer. That's all he's been about in his career. He's like every season, the CJ McCollum's gonna be averaging 20 points a game. We all know this. That's how it's been his whole career. So it's literally like you have him, Brandon Ingram, Zion, Herb is gonna play defense. Valanciunas is a good presence. He can shoot the three. This team is built really, really well. And they showed that in the Lakers game. It's like they Zion was killing them. And that was with Brandon Ingram playing bad. That was with CJ McCollum playing disappointingly. When this team is on, and we've seen flashes of it. I remember last year they got to like the second seed at one point, right? Or the first seed, right?
I believe they were top three at one point,
Top
yeah.
three. They have shown flashes of being an excellent team, but then
Injuries.
it's literally just up, 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 and then they stagnate and just fall.
Yeah.
So it's like they gotta find some consistency. Zion has to play, and then they can be a good team.
Yeah. I
But
agree with you.
it all depends on Zion at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All depends on Zion.
Um, yeah, I don't know what the Pels are gonna do, but fortunately, I don't have to care about it because OKC swept them, and that's my team. So now they will be playing the Dallas Mavericks, who
Oh,
beat
that's gonna be
the
crazy.
what team did they beat?
Clippers.
The
Defending
Clippers.
the
Oh
game winners,
yeah.
the Clippers,
Well,
man.
we'll talk about that one later. But they will be facing the Clippers. They will be facing the Mavericks, excuse me. Um, I mean, unbiasedly, I think Dallas has a very good chance of winning this series. However, I like OKC's chances as well. Obviously, they got Luca and they got Kyrie. We got Lou Dort and we got Case and Wallace.
You think you're Anthony Edwards, bro?
Yeah,
You're not Anthony Edwards.
I know. Um, but look, I like our chances. I think it can go either way. It's going to be a fun series though. Two young guards are just going to be cooking it. And I mean, look, there's no one. Apparently, PJ. No, who is it? PJ Washington has played Shea pretty well, um,
Hmm.
according to Mavericks fans on Reddit. I just there's no Herb Jones on that team. Put it that way. There's no Herb Jones on that team who is going to make it consistently challenging for SGA. So
Yeah.
I will say this is a six. I, I will say it's a 6 game series, and because I have to, I'm going to choose OKC. What about you? Where are you leaning? And make sure it's
Okay.
the right decision.
OKC had definitely has the depth.
Yeah.
Um, I wish I could see on here what their plus minuses are when like someone like Luca or Kyrie is on the bench. But just going off the eye test, when Luca or Kyrie are on the bench, when it comes to OKC, who they're gonna have on the floor, I just think who they're gonna have on the floor is better.
I agree.
Um, and they're a problem. They have depth. They have good players everywhere. And the Mavericks have had success because Kyrie and Luka are so good, but obviously the playoffs are different. We all know this, more pressure, everything that everybody always talks about the playoffs. And I think that even though OKC is young by and large, but I'm looking, they got the ages here, and this is crazy. They're like 28 and then 23, and then just everything is crazy. But I think OKC overall is the deeper team. Shea is good on both ends. They're gonna have Lou Dort. He's obviously been a great defender. J Dub, Chet. They're deep. I think this could be another 7 game series though, because the Mavs are that good. The Mavs are built very well. I think it'll go to OKC. It's not gonna be like a super close 7. I don't think it's gonna be like what I think the Timberwolves and Nuggets are gonna be. I think that one team can kind of pull away in one game, win by like 10, 15. Another game, the other team can do the same, that sort of thing. Maybe like 1 or 2 close games in there, but it'll ultimately go to 7. And I'm giving it to OKC.
Interesting, interesting. I will be real. I will be real as an OKC fan. I hope it doesn't go to 7 because I am scared of
The
game
seven,
7 Luca.
yeah,
But hey, I gotta ride with my team, of course. So that's how it is. Dallas on the other hand beat the Clippers in 6 games, I think. Yeah, they beat them in 6 games.
hmm
I'm gonna just be real. Kawhi Leonard's gonna retire within the next 2 or 3 years. His knees are cooked.
yeah.
He's probably missing most of his important, ligaments at this point. He's probably got more metal rods in his legs than someone who was in a plane crash. Um, it's kind of crazy, but so I the Clippers need to make some changes. I don't, but they can't. They have no picks. They got no young talent. I know people like
Do
to.
they even have cap space
Well, if Paul George doesn't sign with them,
with
then they
them?
will.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't see anyone willingly playing with Kawhi at this point, with knowing his injury history. I know people like to pretend like Terrence Mann is this like young and up and coming. He's like 27. Like he's young, but he's not
Let's
like this
see.
player that you like
Let's
you're
see how
gonna.
old Terrence Mann is.
I think he's 27,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Let's see here. Yeah, he's 27. He from Brooklyn? Interesting. Anyway, yeah, he's 27.
Yeah, he's not this young and up and coming, player. He's a good player though. Don't get me wrong, but he's just
He'll
not
be
this young and
I
up and
think he'll
coming
be
player.
28 by the start of next season too.
Yeah, so he's pushing 30. So yeah, no, I don't know what the Clippers gonna do, but the Mavericks got stuff done in 6 games. I was without Kawhi for the most part, at least. Um, and I just the Clippers are a mess.
Yep,
Um, but the
as
Mavs are
always.
cooking and they're on a roll. Luca. Now here's interesting. Luca does have his knee sprain. Excuse me. He has his knee sprain that he's apparently dealing with, which might be a factor in the OKC game or series rather, which starts tomorrow. I forgot. Um, I'm gonna be so scared. But yeah, so his knee is cooked apparently, but he's still been cooking on that cooked knee, of course. So
Yeah, because Luka Magic.
look at magic. So yeah, I those are my thoughts on the Clippers. Okay, no, the Mavericks and OKC's series. Clippers are eliminated. That just makes the Paul George graphic, like in the trade or at SGA,
It looks
all these other
makes it look
things,
way worse.
looks to
Yeah.
make way worse, way worse. But so
MVP
then
candidate and about a gigaton of picks. Yeah.
exactly,
Sorry.
exactly. So now that's it in the West, right? Those are the
Mm-hmm.
two. So now in the East, the Cavs beat the Magic in 7 games. Man, I was rooting for Orlando.
Oh yeah. Man,
Um,
when I had seen Orlando was playing that well, I was really shocked. And I'm looking at the net ratings right now and how they were playing. They were playing super, super well. Seriously, super well. It's unfortunate that they lost because the Magic were putting on. And I remember people were from my what I was remember people were sleeping on the Magic in this
Sure.
series. And I was just like, let's not do that because they have a good core. They really do have a good core. Jalen Suggs is good. Franz Wagner, Paolo. This is a good team. Jonathan Isaac is pretty good off the bench. So this is a really good team. And they showed out. They showed out. It's 24 years is the average age. Only a year older on average in the OKC Thunder.
Yeah.
Says a lot about how young they are. So this they're gonna be a good team. They're gonna if they keep playing this way, they can add the proper pieces that the team needs. I heard that they're interested in Clay, which I think is a good move for some shooting. They can definitely put on for the future. So I'm excited to see where the Magic are gonna go.
Yeah. I've been telling people this. I promise you, Orlando is going to ruin a team's free agency. There's going to be a player out there that team's going to be like, I want him off my bench, or I want him as a starting guard, and Orlando's going to swoop them up because they have crazy amounts of cap space. And if they really got to make a trade, they got young talent. They're not going to trade any of their top guys. They're not going to trade, like Paolo or Franz or even Suggs, but you can probably trade Markel
Wendell.
Wendell, Markel. I'm not trading Isaac. He's too elite
No.
of a defender,
Yeah.
and he was pretty healthy this year for the most part. So I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
I'm
I
not
wouldn't either.
trading Isaac. You got jingling Joe Ingles, who's not young, but he's probably going to retire. He's like 87. But yeah, shout out to Orlando. I think we need a point guard, but I think their inexperience showed
Yeah.
in this series. So now we got Cavs and Celtics. Cavs ended up beating the Magic. Thoughts on Cavs and Celtics?
The Celtics better sweep them. The Celtics better sweep them because, and then I found this actually really interesting when I looked on here that all the squads that made it to the second round have a positive net rating except for the Cavs.
Mm.
The Cavs were at a negative 4.7 net rating. The Cavs are a good team, very good, honestly, a great team. I love the names here. Garland, Mitchell, Levert's been really good off the bench in my opinion. What do you averages? How did Levert play? I mean,
He was big
okay,
for them in the last game,
yeah, I
especially
know.
with
I mean,
Garland struggling.
I just seen my boy's efficiency. I don't know if he was great, but he's not bad. He's not bad off the bench. He's not bad. This is a good team. I didn't even mention that. Jared Allen. This is a great team, but I honestly do not know what it is because I see these names well, I see Jared Allen is hurt, but I still see these names and I'm thinking this team should be making runs to the conference finals or whatnot. For some reason, they haven't yet. I don't know if you know better than me and what they're lacking because this on paper looks like a good team.
Yeah. Um,
I don't know what's going on.
there is something interesting to address though. The Boston Celtics potentially will be without Kristaps Porzingis for the first couple of games of the series.
That's
He got
very
injured, his calf or something. Let me see, how long is he going to be out?
They got him day to day right now.
Day to day. He might
Yeah,
play, but I mean, we'll see. There's a possibility of that happening. I think the Cavs will end up stealing a game or two, though. I mean, how this. I mean, they lost to the Celtics lost to Miami and once, which shouldn't have happened. I think the Cavs are going to steal a game. Um, I'll go as far to say they'll steal two games, but the Celtics should sweep them, but they probably won't, in my opinion, just because they're the Celtics. Tatum's probably going to have an off game. The health of Porzingis is going to be a little bit of an issue, and I mean they're probably going to start Horford, maybe Luke Cornett. Horford, I mean Horford's old, respectfully, and Cornett can't keep up with Allen as far not that Allen is a super like a Wemby kind of player, but I mean I think he averaged like 17 and 10 this year. Let me check. Averaged 16 and 10. Okay. So I
pretty good.
mean, those are good stats. Those are very good stats.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what this team is going to do. But Cavs probably comfortably
They
beat them.
should get swept.
Yeah. Well, time will
But we'll
tell.
see.
We also have Knicks and Pacers, which is on right now as
Right
we film
now.
this, which is funny because like in the last game, or no, in the last episode that we did, Knicks and Pacers were there. Knicks and Philadelphia, were there. What are your predictions for Knicks and Pacers?
The Knicks should take this in 6. I think that the Pacers have been winning despite the fact that Halliburton has been a little underwhelming these playoffs so far.
Yes.
Um, so the fact that they're still winning, I think says a lot, which they're actually winning by 6 right now.
Good.
Let's see. See Halliburton again, it's like 6 points and 6 assists. Like he's playing not bad. It's not terrible, but for what he showed us during the season, that's not what they need to win.
Yeah, I agree.
But Siakam's been a good pickup. This is a good team, high pace. They're really good offensively,
Yeah, they can score.
really good offensively. Um, but they don't have a Joel Embiid. So I think
If they got
that
Joel Embiid, we got Pascal Siakam.
yeah, it's
We got
like
Miles Turner.
I think the Knicks should take this in 5 or 6.
Really?
No, or man, honestly 6. I'm gonna
6,
say
yeah.
Knicks in 6, but it's not gonna be a Philly Knicks 6. I think just their offense is gonna really take over, but I think that with how slow the Knicks move, they're not gonna get as much possessions as they would with literally any other team because the Knicks are the slowest paced team in the league. So I very much think that the Knicks, with their opposite play styles, their great defense, Jalen Brunson being Jalen Brunson, and Pacers' bad defense is gonna really much allow other players to shine. DiVincenzo has been really good. Josh Hart is gonna be pretty good. Hartenstein is just a really good team. So I'm gonna say Knicks in 6.
Got you. Okay, okay. Very interesting. I'm in a similar boat with you, although I do think the Pacers have a pretty decent shot at winning this. Like I said, their offense is great. Their depth is pretty good as well. They got some guys off their bench. And I mean, I just think really like there's gonna be games, multiple, I think, where this team is gonna just go off. They're gonna hit all their shots. Just because they got some, I mean, Andrew Nemhard, Benedict Mathurin, I think is how you say it. TJ
Yeah,
McConnell is just one of those guys. Like a couple of years ago, he was just randomly getting them triple doubles.
yeah. Shout out my
Um,
boy TJ McConnell. Every time I pick him up in fantasy, he hoops for me. So shout out TJ McConnell.
they have Knicks legend Doug McDermott. Oh wait, no, they have Thunder legend Doug McDermott.
Doug McDermott, yeah.
He was on a Thunder, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that was the Russ MVP year. Um,
Yeah, it was. Man, TJ McConnell's actually so good. Let me just say, sing praises to TJ McConnell. My boy got seventh and sixth man of the year voting. Robbed. My man's was playing what was it? How many minutes was he playing in the game? My man's was playing 18 minutes a game, averaging 10 points, 3 rebounds, 5 boards, shooting 55% of the field,
good player,
40% from three,
good player.
with a steal. Seventh to sixth man of the year voting is kind of criminal for 18 minutes a game. Not gonna lie. Shout out TJ McConnell.
Shout out TJ McConnell.
No, for real.
So yeah, I think Knicks can definitely take this, but I think Indiana definitely has a good shot. I'm gonna say Knicks in 6. They have the best player in the series by far. Halliburton has been very just underwhelming, but I think the Pacers have the clear and cut second best player. I mean, no disrespect to like Josh Hart or OG, but Siakam's comfortably, better than both of them.
Well, the
I
game's
think
tied now.
aside,
Yeah.
I think they got a really deep team. So I can see the Pacers coming out on top, but Knicks are just different when they're in Madison Square Garden, you
Yeah.
know? And they have home court, I believe, right? Yeah, because they're number
Yes,
two
they
seed.
do.
So, hey, man, I think they got a real good shot, like at beating them. And I know some people, we both know some people uh, that are going to be extremely happy about that. And it's going to set the Discord server on fire, just like how New York will be set on fire. So,
You know who you are.
you know who you are. I don't think he's watching this, but you know who
What
you
about?
are. Tristan.
Oh,
Um,
I thought you
not,
weren't saying names, but he said names. That's
I'm a
crazy.
name drop because he's probably not going to watch this. Um, So yeah, like I think we're in for another good match. I think the two most exciting matches are going to be on the West. Like with the Nuggets and Wolves, and OKC and Dallas. To me, that's more interesting. Matches. The Celtics got off lucky though. I mean, look, the Cavs, good team. They're just going to cakewalk to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They should. They
Especially
should.
with Allen apparently injured.
Yeah, they
Because I don't,
should. They should have a cakewalk. But as we
what
saw last year, sometimes
man.
it don't matter.
Nobody wants to see Cavs and Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals
I don't. I want to see Boston and New York.
because if Cavs and Knicks happen, then one of them is going to face probably the Nuggets. They're going to get stomped, and I don't want
Oh
that
yeah.
again. You know,
I don't think the Knicks will
um,
get stomped, but
they'll
it's not going to
lose
be as exciting.
pretty comfortably, I
It's
would
not going to
say.
be as exciting.
Yeah.
Or
Uh,
even if the Wolves make it, if the Wolves make it and it's Cavs or Knicks in the finals, it's just like
it's not interesting to me.
the Wolves, man.
Yeah, I think the Wolves comfortably have
This
that
ain't
one.
no early 2010s Wolves no more, man.
Yeah, this isn't the Kevin Love and
This is
who's that
yeah.
guy? Johnny Flynn. This ain't the Johnny. This ain't the John. This ain't the Johnny Flynn Wolves anymore, man.
No,
No way,
for
it's not
real.
Johnny Flynn, is it? Yeah, it is. It
I
is.
think
It
it
is.
is.
It
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
drafted
it's
like
Johnny Flynn.
what 2 picks before Curry or something like that.
Hilarious. How old is Johnny Flynn? 35. Wow. He was born in Niagara. Oh, there's a Niagara Falls, New York.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought he was born in Niagara
because
Falls.
it's
That's
because
crazy. Yeah.
New York, Canada. Yeah.
That was crazy. But anyway, so those are our playoff predictions for the second round of the playoffs in the NBA. Look, guys, I don't know why I said. You know what? I'm used to the metabolism, man, where I have more than two people. But so yeah, I think this is going to be very exciting. And I mean, when is playoff basketball not exciting, right?
True.
So that's what we have. Jordani, you have any final messages for this episode?
Um, Shout out Anthony Edwards. He's a dog. He's becoming one of my favorite players in the league. He's hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious. I'm not gonna
Um,
I'm not gonna do
oh yeah, well,
it.
this is a show for children. This is also for
Yeah,
children.
it's for kids.
Um, Shout out the Knicks. Um, I'm not from New York. I never claimed to be from New York, but I am from North Jersey, which is baby New York in a way. And I'm rooting for the Knicks honestly in these playoffs.
Really? Okay. So yeah,
I'm
that was actually
honestly
gonna
rooting for the Knicks,
that was
honestly.
gonna be my question because the Lakers are not in the playoffs anymore. Thanks Jamal Murray. But um, so yeah, that is actually interesting. I think I was gonna say like who would your team, that you root for beat, but
The
obviously,
Knicks, in
you
my
said the
opinion.
Knicks. If
Yeah,
OKC gets knocked out, probably just root for the Nuggets again, just because it's easy,
Nuggets.
you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, with all that being said, this has been a wrap on the second episode of the Two for One podcast, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you for listening and slash watching. Don't forget to share on whatever you do, whatever you share stuff with, Snapchat, Instagram, Discord, MySpace, moviestarplanet.com, Pop Tropica, all those things. And
Don't forget about Club Penguin.
Club Penguin, all of it. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.